How's it going, Duncan? Can you hear me in the back? I miss the army. I don't get to yell at troops anymore. So, Duncan BC. Monday afternoon, 150 people in the park listening to an ex-crew who cuts down trees now, a truck driver, and a white supremacist nurse talking about communism. Headlined by a French politician. Is this something that you saw coming? Yeah, here we are. You know, I've been walking back and forth. I've been listening to this thing over and over and over again over the last few days. The crowds are getting bigger, the demographics are changing, and I'm seeing a shift, and it's filling me with hope. And I'm starting to think that COVID-19 is the best thing that's happened. Okay? This incrementalism that we've been talking about, this has been going on for almost a century. No one has cooked like we've cooked. Usually a communist insurrection, they lay the groundwork for 15 to 30 years. We've been cooking for a century here.
Is there going to be someone to...
That's why the spells are so powerful when they're working. I'm a frontline healthcare worker, right? And I see it every day. They're just...
You were supposed to give them the
it's
fuzzy
insane.
shirt.
Oh. Right? But why are you here? Are you here because of Rockefeller's reset the plate, their attack on animal husbandry, and the way they're reimagining our food and supply system? No.
Sean. Fuzzy side up.
Fuzzy side up?
Right, hook it right in.
Right there? Okay.
Get rid of the Rockefeller.
No, you're not. You're here because of COVID-19. Right? COVID-19 is the catalyst that's going to wake this planet up. It's happening in other places more than it's happening here. We've just moved on this shit. Right? Canada, Germany, we're world leaders. You want to know what's going to happen here in 6 months? Look what's happening in Australia and New Zealand right now. No jab, no job. We're going to come get you. They lay it all out, they show it, they rub it in our face. Right? And we've been asleep at the wheel for too long. Who's going to solve this problem? There's no one coming. We're the adults in the room here, people. This is up to us. And Duncan BC, 150 people in the park on a Monday. Right? You represent a lot of people that aren't here that see the same thing that you see. We're being gaslit by the world right now. Being told, you're alone in this, you're crazy, this isn't happening. You're not alone. You're not crazy, and this is happening. All right? And as we go around and talk to people, and I don't know what brought you here, whether you've been jumping down rabbit holes like we have for the last few years, or you're just starting to think, none of this makes any sense. Right? I don't know what brought you here today, but it's bringing more people every day. And as this momentum builds, right, we've got a real chance of beating this thing. This is COVID-19 is the catalyst that's going to kick this off. We've been asleep to all the other stuff for so long. I was talking with Mike earlier, right? This should have happened in 2008. It should have. We printed trillions, kicked the can down the road a decade and a half. Right? Look where we're at right now. 30% of the world's wealth was printed last year. You don't walk away from that. This 400-year-old game of Monopoly that we've been playing since the formation of the Bank of England, since the French Revolution, it's coming to an end. And we've got an opportunity to replace it with something beautiful. Or something Orwellian. Right? That's on us. Because we know now, if you're here, you recognize the threat. Otherwise, you'd be at home watching Netflix or doing something better, right? You recognize the threat. So it's our responsibility to wake others up and to get involved in the fight. Maxime Bernier planted a flag a few years ago to where the Overton window in this country is moving. The rest of the country hasn't caught up yet. We're one news story away from forming government. Today, we're not there yet, but we're one news story away. I think that news story might come from our neighbors to the south. They seem to be a little more awake than we are right at this point. But we're gaining ground on it. What an amazing time to be alive. We get to see how this goes. Right? They said World War I was the war to end all wars. This is the war to end all wars.
Yeah.
Right? The last two major depopulation events, they shot the shit out of the world and they needed a population to rebuild it. They've come up with some technologies now that they can just get rid of the population and still have all the stuff left lying around. Are we going to give it to them? No. No, we're not. All right? I'm feeling pretty fired up right now. I wasn't expecting this many people in Duncan BC, right? On an island that's got a reputation for being filled with communists. This is really good to see. All right? I'll shut up. God bless, and I wish you well in the wars to come.
Thank you for your words and your service, Sean. Sean is ex-military, ex-firefighter, and now an active emergency nurse.